T. Clark here. In this video is going to go over the AP Computer Science A FRQ number 1A for 2024. And this question simulates birds or maybe a bear eating at a bird feeder. So the following feeder class contains information about how much food is in the bird feeder. So we have the current food and simulates how much food is eaten. So we're going to write two methods of the feeder class. So we have the amount of food in grams currently in the bird feeder, initialized in the constructor. So we don't have to do that. The constructor is one of these methods not shown that we don't have to worry about. It's always going to be 0 or more. So again, a non-negative number. And then simulates 1 day with num birds. So the method we're making is simulate 1 day, which will maybe a bear eats the food and the number of birds is not going to be 0. Okay, so we're going to simulate 1 day. I'm going to skip part B for now. Oh, that's a lot of text. Okay, so we're going to write that method, which simulates however many birds or maybe a bear at the feeder for 1 day. So the method determines the amount of food taken for the feeder on this day and updates the current food instance variable. The simulation accounts for normal conditions, which occur 95% of the time, and abnormal conditions, which occur 5% of the time. Okay, so under normal conditions, normal simulation, any given day, only birds visit the feeder, and each bird consumes the same amount of food. Okay, so I think I skipped that the first time I read it earlier this morning. That's good to know. I was trying to figure out why it's always the same amount, but it says right there, same amount of food. So they eat the same amount of food every day, and the standard is between 10 and 50 food inclusive, and there are grams. So 10 to 50 grams, that is on any given day. So birds may eat 10 or 11 or 20 or 48 or 50 grams of food. And the amount of food eaten by each bird on a given day is randomly generated. Okay, randomly generated from 10 to 50, inclusive, watch that inclusive part, and has an equal chance of being chosen. Okay, so for example, so on a certain day, each bird coming to the feeder eats 11 grams of food. Then if there are 10 birds, a total of 110, so 10 times 11 will be consumed total. And then the remaining amount is 110 less. So we have to subtract from the, whatever that variable's name is, current food. Yeah, subtract from current food. Let's see, where am I at? If the simulated food consumed is greater than the amount of food in the feeder, birds empty the feeder, and then that's it. They don't get get negative. That doesn't make sense. Negative food in the thing. They start eating the feeder itself. No, they just leave the plastic alone, hopefully. Then abnormal conditions, a bear empties the feeder, so the feeder is empty, and that's it. It's just 0. Okay, so example 1. Feeder contains 500 grams of food. And then if I call simulate 1 day 12, so that means there's 12 birds eating, and then 20 is a random number, and then 12 times 20 is what? 240. And so 500 minus 240 is 260. Yeah. And then if there's 1,000 grams and we simulate it with 22 birds, but there's a bear, so no matter what, it's 0. Or maybe if I call simulate 1 day 5, we have 5 birds attempting to eat 130. Since the food is empty now, 100. There's 100, and I want to try to eat 150. Some birds don't get their full amount, I guess. Too bad for them. But either way, it's going to be 0 at the end. Okay, so I don't like this method because it's random. I mean, I don't like it because I can't really make a main that'll give me the right answer all the time because it's random. But either way, I'm going to say if, and how do I do random? Double check my reference, the math section. And I say, okay, double random, give me a number between 0 and 1. And this is, I'm hiding it, wait, less than 1. Yeah, so this is exclusive. Less than 1.0 means like 0.999. But can't get in between. Okay, so either way, math.random. So I'm going to get that first random number. So math.random. So if it's a 5% chance, that means 0.05. And this is my bear attack. So this is my bear, not attack, but bear feeds. What happens when the bear feeds? The food goes to 0. So where's my food? Current food goes to 0. All gone. Okay, else it's a normal. Wait, do I have to return anything? No, I don't have to return anything. Just set the food to 0 for the bear. For that 5% chance. 5%. Remember, 5% is 0.05. Hopefully you remember that from math. Okay, so else it's a normal bird feeding. I need to get a random number of grams. Whoop, I'm zooming too much. Let's go slower. There's a lag when I'm recording, I think. Okay, so I want to get a 10 to 50. Okay, 10 to 50, I'm going to sketch it out. Okay, what's 10 to 50? That's actually 50 minus 10 plus 1. Right, max minus min plus one more number. That's how I get however many numbers there are. I could count them off if I wanted to, do a bunch of tick marks maybe. But either way, I need to get an int. I'll just say grams eaten, grams, equals, I know I need to cast this as an int. So I'm going to say math.random. I'm going to multiply by however many numbers I have. So I could have put this out, or I just do it right here. Actually, I'm gonna 50 minus 10 plus 1. I'm gonna make the computer think for me. So there we go. So you could put 41 here or do the whole math, but then that's my random numbers. But now it's 0 to 41. I want to add 10, or 0 to 40 inclusive, I should say. Now I want 10 to 50 inclusive. Now this is 41 numbers no matter what. 41 numbers either way. So it would have been 0 to 40 this way, but now it's 0 to, or 10 to 50. Okay, so there's my random numbers. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much on that one. So that's my grams, and then I want to subtract that from my current food. So current food, birds are eating. Each bird eats that many grams, so it's grams times the numbers. Right, if grams was 20 and then numbers was 12, that's at 240 we had. Yeah, 20 grams times 12 is 240. And then, oh, we don't want to equal that. We want to minus it. We want to subtract. I almost messed up, skipping ahead. So we're subtracting from the current food however many grams each bird eats. So each bird means we times it by the number of birds. And then last thing, gotta make sure it's not negative. I could actually do this outside the if statement. I'll do that. I'll say outside the, it doesn't matter. I'll do it the way I did it on paper. The way I think I remember doing it on paper. So if current food is less than 0, current food is 0, right? If birds try to eat too much, I'll put a 0. Bear obviously automatically sets a 0 the way I did it, and then I don't return like I said. Let's see if my runner works. Oh, this is one of the random ones, so I just have to keep running it. Where's my run button? Keep running it. It's a random amount each time because it's random. So each time I get a different answer. Okay, so I think it's working well. I'm pretty sure it does. So there is the solution for the first 1A FRQ. Have a good day.